but on the lines of legendary numbers, 54. We just had a legendary season, legendary game in the Women's College Basketball Championship. South Carolina Gamecocks complete the perfect season, winning 2 out of the last 3 championships. I mean, bravo, really. That was an incredible game. I tweeted one of the best first halves I think I ever watched. Second half also just as great, but you could tell Iowa was just a little gassed, and
Yeah.
Gamecocks, they got stars not only on their starting lineup, but even on their bench, bro. It just seemed like every one of those girls are hoopers. But that was a great game. That was the first championship game, Gamecocks. Zach, what are your thoughts on it, man?
Not only this game, but the Final Four game between Iowa and UConn, and even the previous game, Iowa and LSU. These have been some of the best basketball games that I've watched. I don't know if it's just like the Iowa effect, because they've all consist of Iowa, but it's not even like
Caitlin Clark for sure. A lot of pull.
but it's not even totally her. And I mean, you saw some other girls had to step up. Stolke and Gabby Marshall. That's the thing. Kate Martin too. She's hitting some tough turnarounds, man. She got some post moves, but the list for Iowa is a lot shorter than the list for South Carolina.
Literally pun intended there too. They were also shorter. They were also shorter.
They were also much shorter. I mean, it reflected in the stat category, like 29 rebounds for Iowa, 51 for South Carolina. I mean, Camila Cardoso had 15 points. I mean, take a look at the bench for South Carolina. Can I do the math here? I mean, Tessa Johnson had 19. She was a spark plug.
Well,
she was
they showed the graphic at one point that was like 38 bench points to 0 of Iowa.
28, 29, 30, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I count 36.
Okay, but they showed some graphic, and it was like 30 or something crazy, and it's like, well, yeah, that's the difference of the game. All credit to Iowa, but I do want to praise South Carolina because, obviously we addressed the elephant in the room. The big draw was Caitlin Clark, just the talent that she is. But I do think, I don't know if you were listening to the broadcast or just kind of had it, because when the game was kind of getting towards the end, it was kind of separating itself. But they were heavily, it was a Caitlin Clark-esque. They were like, oh, she's one of the greatest. This will be the last time she's here. Everything she's done on the court. And like, I get that, but on the other side is a team that went perfect with, and like nowhere like near Caitlin Clark level of talent, but like the step below of what you need, they're all going to be WNBA players. Like, I just felt like they were pushing the Caitlin Clarks a little bit, but I mean, ESPN knows their audience. They know the Caitlin Clark effect, but I just want to tip my cap first to South Carolina, because that was a great basketball team. Once they took the lead there before half, they got their first lead of the game. I kind of knew the game was over. Just seemed like the wheels were just kind of falling off. Like, all the momentum was heavily on Iowa to start the game, and they kept it going first and majority of that second. But once South Carolina, established themselves, they like proved that you couldn't knock them down. It was full steamroll ahead. But it was a great game. It was fantastic. Everything you want in a championship game, especially with all the hype. Got to tip my cap, dude. The women's basketball, really at college, but really in general, is in a great, great spot.
Yeah, absolutely. It sucks for Iowa, because that's a tough team, but it's a tough team of 6 compared to 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. You had 9 players on South Carolina record double-digit minutes, as opposed to like just 5 starters I lied. O'Grady, 13 minutes off the bench, but she didn't record a point. Yeah, there wasn't much outside of that starting 5 for Iowa, and you saw it towards the end. Like, they just fell apart. Like, I was like, what is this offense? There was no offense. Even Clark was just kind of driving and chucking it up, hoping to get, a roll or something. That wasn't going to work against South Carolina. They're just too good. They're just too good.
And there was a couple times like, she was a little careless too, Caitlin with it. And Gamecocks makes you pay, bro. They play tough defense.
Yeah.
Very fast team. I especially liked watching Cardosa, just because one, she's massive, but two, man, like, Caitlin Clark, like, she's gonna be great. That girl's also gonna be great in a WNBA. She's gonna be fantastic. I'm like, I don't know. I'm kind of like excited for a season. Like, I think I might tune in for a couple of games, dude. Like, if it's anything remotely close, which I'm sure it is, to what we've seen in the college, it's going to be great. But to flip it over, though, Caitlin Clark, there's a lot to talk about right now. I think the biggest thing is what's up with all of these, retired / current, great women basketball players just kind of subtly disrespecting and like, I don't want to say discrediting, but definitely like being heavily disrespectful, petty, maybe a little bit jealous of Caitlin Clark. Like these comments that I'm seeing of saying she's in for a rude awakening. I know they had the whole UConn broadcast for the UConn Iowa game. They're talking about Caitlin versus Paige, and I get they're UConn alums, but they're like, nah, I want Paige. Caitlin might have a better offense, but as a better overall player, Paige is better. And I'm like what? Like, you guys have the spotlight. Like, they're breaking records of viewerships. I think the UConn Iowa game was the most viewed college basketball game ever, I believe, men's and women's, like ever.
Yeah.
Yep. It's like 18 some million views.
Yeah.
Like, and you're gonna take this, like, your one shiny moment, like this time we have America's attention, as like being like one of the greats. It'd be like, I don't know, like compared to like Christian Laettner or like, like Shabazz Napier or whatever, saying, oh, DJ Burns he's not going to be good in the NBA. No. Like, it's that same effect, but like they're saying, nah, Caitlin Clark isn't what she is not going to be hyped. When she gets to the WNBA, it's going to be way different, blah, blah, blah. To me, I don't understand that. I'm like, well, why are we doing this? So I'm curious to hear what you have to say, because that kind of seems like the talk, at least on Twitter world or X world, about that Caitlin Clark discourse.
Yeah, no, I think it's definitely going to be discourse for probably the entirety of her career. 3 reasons. The first, I'll start off with, are you talking about Diana Taurasi?
Yes.
And what she said?
Yes.
Definitely. But I like read it more, and then she did say, like, let me pull it up. She kind of circled back and was like, we all went through it, so... Yeah, so she said, reality is coming. You look superhuman playing against some 18-year-olds, but you're going to come and play with some grown women that have been playing professional basketball for a long time. Which, I mean, basically applies to every single person.
Every single rookie.
Yeah.
Every rookie gets that same thing.
But she did end it with, like, and that's just life. We all went through it. So, like, it's... Yes, to your point, you're definitely... And then I'll bridge that with my second point, is that when you're this great, like, people are just going to hate. It's like LeBron.
Yeah.
It's like...
That's true.
It's true. Like, whoever else you want to, compare it to. In any sport. But basketball, I feel like LeBron's the best comparison. Like, he's just been the guy since he was, playing at... wherever the hell
they called him the chosen one when he was a senior in high school.
Yeah, why am I blanking on where he went to high school?
St. Vincent St. Mary.
Yeah, I knew it was something like that. Yeah,
buddy, Akron. I only know that more than a game, but yeah, I agree with your point.
I think like that, it's just gonna come with it. And then to bridge that with my third point, I think it's just like women don't support women. Like, and I hate to like bring that into it, but I think It is part of it. Like you cannot look at this person like she's a great she's a great person. Like I don't think she's arrogant or humble. I think she carries herself pretty well. Person and player, and be like, holy shit, this is the next best thing for me in not only just a sport, but for me as like a woman. Like we're like we weren't like you've been wanting like respect in this space for like a little bit, and now you finally got people like you have all eyes, like you said, most viewed game ever. It's gonna like beat a lot of NBA playoff ratings, even some NFL playoff ratings, maybe.
Yeah.
The fact that there is like a subset of people, and I'm saying just women, but like there are women. Like I was out watching this game, and I heard people like I heard women saying like, "Ah, oh, fuck her," like I like just stuff disparaging against her, and I'm like, there's no logical reason that you don't like her. It's just because she's great. It's because she's great, and she's doing great things for the sport. And I only think these 2 losses, I think we're gonna look back in the career of Caitlin Clark and be like, this shit made her a monster. Like, I mean, I would like they were in the game. It's just if they were like 7-8 deep, like they maybe win this game.
They had like another big, like just a taller person out there.
Anybody.
Just a taller person, really.
Anybody. Which just sucks, but like that's the nature of kind of, and I mean Dawn Staley just a hell of a job building this program, especially when they lost a bunch of starters. I think their whole group was new except for Raven, but I think she's a bench player last year. She didn't play that well today, but a hell of a job. Like owed to her for shutting down quote unquote Caitlin. She still had 30. But it just, the wheels fell off. I think you put it well. The wheels just fell off, and they just didn't have enough steam, which sucks. But like, it's only like a step. This is the beginning of Caitlin Clark. Like, if she stays healthy, like she's next up.
Another thing I want to just bring up on the whole Caitlin Clark kind of women thing. So, did you also see what Lynette Woodard said about like Caitlin Clark's scoring record?
I don't know who that is.
So she's like another legendary college basketball player, like was in the Olympics way back when, like just, like one of, the founding mothers, I should say, of college basketball. But she was at some conference and she was like talking about Caitlin Clark's scoring record, and like if I got the video, she basically in her quote, she has the NCAA scoring record, and she said, "I don't think my record has been broken." But yeah, like she's 2002 Naismith Hall of Fame, in the Basketball Hall of Fame, first female Harlem Globetrotter. So it's like she's legit. But basically, what I'm going down this rabbit hole point is she's saying all this stuff about basically. My record wasn't broken, talking about Caitlin Clark, but behind her is a poster that says advocating, sponsoring, empowering, mentoring, and supporting. And it's just so ironic that you have like the biggest star in your sport right now, and you're taking this time to like make a petty comment about her play and the fact that she broke your record. Like I get like, yeah, all athletes have this sense of like, competitiveness and all that. And they don't, no athlete, men or women, wants to admit like they're always, that's why Shaq and Charles still have debates to this day about saying who's better than what. Right. But like when you have posters behind you saying empowering, supporting, mentoring, all this, and you're just tearing it down, like it goes back to your point where like, maybe it is like, might be controversial to say, but maybe women aren't like that. And I think it's in all facets of life, really. Sometimes I feel that way of like girls posting on Instagram. Like that's why I think I'll use this as an example. But like when girls post on Instagram, what's their comment section flooded with? Oh, she's so pretty. Oh, you're gorgeous, blah, blah, blah. Right. But if you're ever like with those women and like they're kind of close friends, maybe not really, and like you're close to those women, they'll air out some things about said post or said appearance or said whatever. That's why I like guys' Instagrams, because nobody ever comments on guys, or it's usually like them making fun of them, or like or whatever, right?
Yeah,
But I
like an
just think
inside
like
joke
that's
or
like
something.
yeah. So don't want to maybe generalize and whatever. So call me out on it, but I do think there is a certain truth to that, where like women are a little like I don't know what the
Jealous,
exact words I want to say. Yeah,
jealous
jealous.
of
And
other women.
yeah, yeah,
Like
yeah.
it's
There we
always a
go.
competition. Like
Always,
it's
yeah.
imagine if Kareem would have found some way to drag LBJ after he broke his scoring record. Like you'd be like, what the fuck? Like what the fuck? Like that just wouldn't happen. But and then you got
Yeah.
this. I haven't watched a video, but I saw it. Like I'm like reading the captions, and I see the posters. Like
Yeah, that's just what like that's the most ironic. I just wanted to bring that up. I'm like, it's so ironic that those posters behind just has
see
all of
woman
that.
of elevate each other, see woman of Kalo one. Yeah, like and it's I, I'm not making it up. It's a thing. Like why are you doing
Like I just you should be that's why I want to start off praise the Gamecocks. South Carolina deserves
yeah,
most of the praise right now. But
definitely.
I'm also very confused as to why Caitlin Clark's like getting like all this hate. But I think you're right that this is going to be the rest of her career. I do think that this will turn her into a monster. These back-to-back finals losses gotta hurt. But also, we're gonna look back at this time and be like, sports change forever during these 2 weeks, because I don't think the hype is dead. I think women's basketball is going to continue to grow, mostly because I think like there's still so many more hoopers out. Still have to play in college, and there's probably still hoopers out there in high school, grade school that we still don't even know about yet. But they got Caitlin Clark, they got Paige, they got Angel Reese, they got Cardosa, they got all these like figures to look at and emulate. Like they don't have to look at Steph Curry no more. You got Sabrina too. I don't want to discredit that too. Breanna
Yeah.
Stewart. Like there's of course in WNBA as well, but like especially for right now, like there's a little girl out there which I love watching ESPN, seeing it was the most highly rated game ever besides football, and being like that's like one of me. I can do that one day, and I think that's the best part about it all. But yeah, I mean, there's tons of great talent as well. Shout out Kiki Jefferson, my prom date, drafter, WNBA teams, drafter.
Dude, let's go. I mean, top player on ranked Louisville for most of the team.
Yeah,
For
dude,
most
she
of
was
the
a
season.
beast. She was a beast this year. We'll see, but it's in a great spot, and it was a great game. It was the most beautiful way I think you could have drawn it up. I don't think a script writer could have had a better story for what happened this year for women's sports. So it's awesome.
Yeah, 100%. Hell of a fight from Iowa too, but South Carolina, bread and butter, and we'll see. Yeah, we'll see like the fallout from this in like Iowa, especially. Like where the hell are
Yeah,
they gonna go? And South Carolina will probably be up there. UConn will be back there next year, definitely. They'll get a bunch of players back from injury too. But Iowa,
USC too. I know we didn't talk about Juju, but still USC there too. Notre Dame's
Iowa,
gonna be
yeah,
great too.
true,
Yeah.
true.
Anyway, so
Yeah, where does Iowa fall now with I'm blanking on the coach's name right now. But I feel like she got a lot of good press during this run for Iowa.
yeah,
Um,
I'm
it's
sure. I'm sure Iowa will be just fine. I mean,
Lisa
they
Bluder.
won't be like they were because you can't replace a Caitlin Clark, but I think they'll be just fine. They're entering up there on that tier list of the UConn, South Carolina. I feel like Baylor's usually there too. Notre
For
Dame,
sure. For sure. But yeah,
the
Lisa Bluder,
women's blue bloods.
that's the name. She'll probably have him ready to go for next season. And speaking of whistles, this is the last thing that crossed my mind, college basketball wise, that I don't think we covered. It's semi in the past, but we can touch on it real quick.
Oh yeah.
You know what I'm getting at?
Yes.
The
Back to the
women's Final
women's.
Four game.
Yeah, back to the women's.
There's a lot to talk about on that side. So
Yeah,
but I
obviously
think this is a good way
3 point.
to end our college talk because this is like it's a good segue into.
Yeah, but 3.9 seconds left. Offensive foul called on UConn on the pick, moving screen. I mean, like I watched all the replays. It's definitely a foul. Like it's 100% a foul. And I think what everybody was getting so mad at on like Twitter, it's like the game is just down the line. Like, yeah, I know it's a foul, but like let them play and like see how it goes. I'm on that train, but like I'm also on the train too. That like if it's a foul, you gotta call a foul, and you could even call because she screened twice because Paige was going. They were kind of zigzagging. She screened twice. You technically called a foul on the first one, but they didn't, and then they called it on the second. It's just, yeah, it's the right call. It's just a terrible way to end a game, especially with less than 5 seconds left to go. And it shouldn't be like that, but like it's just what it is. Rules are rules, I guess. But it was brutal. It was definitely brutal.
Yeah, I 100% agree. I tweeted it out. It's a foul. The one angle that they originally showed, it didn't show the feet. And
Yeah,
like
you got to
the
show
whole
feet.
thing with the fouls, like the offensive fouls, you got to show the feet. You can.
Yeah, you could
She
do.
definitely shifted.
Yeah, you
Like she
could do
definitely
whatever,
shifted.
but if you look at the feet, they're still moving and
Yeah.
like not set. It's the same with a charge. It's a charge versus block. You got to get them feet set.
Yeah. She.
But I think what also got me mad is that like Paige really didn't even get open on that screen either. Like, yeah, it was a
No.
foul, but like I would be more acceptant like of it if like Paige was wide open after that screen, because then it's like, oh, all right. But like the screen, like even though I mean foul, but she did a terrible job because her teammate didn't even get open. She still would have chucked up that shot because it's Paige buckets. That's just what she
No.
does. But
And no, that's a good point though. If she runs into the screener like that, if whatever the heck I'm sorry I forget her name, but she runs into the screener, they have no reason to make that call. But she went wide, so
yeah,
she had to shift out and caught it. I mean, and then Paige kind of alluded to this, not directly in her post game presser, which this I give her a lot of props for this. Like she's mature
yeah,
beyond her years, like leader with a capital L, like future franchise player.
mm-hmm.
And you just saw it in how she like handled that at the end in their post game. She like basically said, "Yeah, like it sucked that it came down to that, but we could have done so much more to like we could have been up 6 or whatever, so it didn't even have to come down to that." Which is true. That's kind of
Yeah.
how I feel, and I'm always gonna feel that way. Always, always, always after the Super Bowl. Always.
Yeah.
I'm.
Yeah. Plays are never won. There's so many plays that happen, especially in basketball games. There's so many different things that happen. So you can't dictate one specific play on the outcome of a game. Fans, we love to do it because it's exciting. I guess the arguments and everything that we all get into. But like,
Yeah.
Actual people who understand sports and how it goes have the same reaction that Paige does. It just takes way more balls for Paige to say it
Yeah.
than any of us who aren't in the game. So yeah, it's a lot of respect. Yeah, Paige is that whole class is insane. I think it was like Caitlin, Paige,
And Angel.
I just had it.
I'm pretty sure Angel was in it too.
Yeah, Angel, Paige. I just liked it. Thought I had it all. Oh yeah, Paige, Angel, Cameron Brink, Caitlin Clark, and Cordoso. All of them.
Oh damn.
And like Paige is also coming off an injury too, so it's great to see that she's still playing at a high level. But
career season, like career high points wise, led UConn to the Final Four. Like hella impressive.
Yeah,
hella impressive.
But should we close the book on college basketball until the next episode? We'll break down the men's one. But overall, great.
Yeah, I found it.
I
Big
really
East
enjoyed
Player of the Year. Big East most outstanding player. Yeah, career high. Shout out Paige.
Shout out Paige. And also, shout out to
see,
UConns and NC States of the world, though. I wish Penn State had good basketball teams. I would love that. But
I was thinking that. I was thinking that. Like, dude, imagine like I had this thought. This is we can close on this, but I had this funny thought, and I don't actually think that I like hold this much significance. But like, just hypothetical, if I had gone to NC State, would like the butterfly effect have like if I had gone there? I wonder if the butterfly effect would have like like created them or made them not be in the Final Four this year, just in some way. Or like, what if I had gone there? What if they like the butterfly effect like created them or made it so that they got it done?
You never know. I mean, I would say no. The world will probably still go just because you aren't an athlete. If you were an athlete, then I'd say, well, maybe, because who knows about scholarships and they don't get this one specific player or whatever. Like, if I don't know, but I think solely probably because you'd be a student, I think the world would continue turning.
Well, my thought was
that is an interesting thought.
I'd be in like the media space and like maybe somebody like DJ Burns just like saw my face and that just like threw his whole shit off like for years. I don't know. I don't know. I'm just these are the thoughts that I have.
You also never know about anything though, because like you could also randomly, you never know. You could be driving around campus, getting back from the grocery store, and you get in a car accident. All of a sudden, it's like maybe not DJ Burns, but it's like the seventh man of NC State. But all of a sudden, he's out for a couple weeks, and maybe NC State like continues to lose. They don't get that push because by the time he comes back, who knows? So maybe, I'll give you a yes then. I'll give you a yes. I'll give you a yes.
These are just the thoughts that I have of myself, especially after I get burned on so many parlays. I'm like, am I like cursed? I like think I might be cursed.
Dude, that's such a dark room, like phone light thought of like, like, man, dude, what if I went to NC State? I could have experienced something cooler, but maybe I want it. That's just
maybe it doesn't even happen if I go there. I don't know.
That's wild. That's awesome.